Hello and welcome back. So I found something really interesting along my path journey while I was learning to discover myself and find happiness and peace. I stumbled upon the word enlightenment, and heavily, mostly because of an experience that I had on September the 18th, 2016, and an experience that completely changed my life, and I wanted to find out what it was that happened to me. And in that process of trying to figure it out, I've stumbled upon the word enlightenment. And while I was learning about it, I realized that every human being on the planet is searching for enlightenment, whether they realize it or not. And those who say that they are not don't understand what it really is, what enlightenment is all about. So I found that all the religions around the world, a lot of mysticism, mystical teachings, the Kabbalah, the tarot, numerology, and all of these esoteric traditions, if you will, are all trying to have a person come to that enlightened state within themselves on whatever level. And I've wanted to make a video on the tarot for quite a while now. So today I kind of had the motivation to, and I don't know if I'm going to go all the way, but in the tarot cards there is a progression of life lessons that a human needs to master in order for him or her to reach that enlightened state of being, where happiness and joy and all those sort of things can be found. And this is basically like signposts. So as you discover yourself, there are certain lessons that the cards show you in symbols that you can learn to apply and recognize whether or not those certain aspects hidden in those symbols are something that for you, you need to find that state of peace inside of yourself. So I have here the albino waiter deck. Oh my god, I can't even say it properly. Albino weight deck, tarot deck. And I'm gonna go and start with the the Fool. Oh, there it is. So the tarot and numerology are kind of linked a bit together, but I'm not really gonna do a video on numerology today. So I just took out the Fool, and I'm just gonna go over a little bit about the symbol and how a person, or the symbols in this card, and how a person can use this to be happier in your life, because that's what we're all really reaching for. We're all trying to be happier, and we're doing this by buying things and getting certain positions at work and all these achievements, not looking at the inner state of our essence, our being, not taking care of the inner first. So if you look here at the Fool, a person can decipher a lot of life wisdom just by looking at the card itself. If you see, this card represents a person that's new here, and it's a very innocent state of mind. If you look, he's carrying over his shoulder, he's got a little a cloth kind of bag there where he's got his supplies. He has what he needs. He came here with what he needs. His survival is taken care of. He's probably got food in there, so he doesn't have to worry about his food. His survival is taken care of. And if you look at him, he's very happy. He's very carefree. walking about. He's got a flower in his hand, so it shows that he's got some feminine qualities as well, that he's not afraid to show his femininity, his masculinity, femininity. He's not hiding from one or the other. He's just allowing himself to be as he is, basically a blank slate, the number 0, basically. And if you look, he's about to walk off of a cliff. So this also shows a bit of life lesson here, that here in the 3D world, if you're a little bit too carefree, a little bit too not paying attention of your surroundings, because he's probably a bit lost in his head here, wow, looking around, and doesn't have the information he needs to take care of himself while here, he might just walk off that cliff. And the dog is barking at him. The dog showing that there's always synchronicities. There's things in our lives that if we're open to them, we'll see that life seems to be guiding us and helping us in many different ways. So if one pays attention to their surroundings, and not necessarily just the outside, but if one pays attention and is not too much lost in their thought, that they might find certain warnings, they might find certain advice that is available to them if they are not too lost in their dream world. So this shows a bit of balance about how a person could live in their lives to, number one, be very carefree, embrace their femininity, to live a very carefree world in life, and not to take things too personally, and to enjoy the simple things in life. Make sure that you have your basic survival, and once your survival is taken care of, then a person can relax and enjoy, live with a light heart, a very innocent heart, but also to not be lost in your thoughts and in your dreams, and to also have a balance, and to pay attention, to not be lost in your dreams. That it's okay to be carefree, to be open, loving, and to not take things too seriously, but to be aware of your surroundings, because you may just end up falling off a cliff, if you will. So in a card like this, there's also the colors also represent a few other things, and he's got mountains in the background. So mountains usually represent challenge, and usually the steeper the mountain in these tarot cards, the more steeper the mountains, the steeper the challenges in life. So this person hasn't really learned a lot about life, but just like when a child comes into the world, very loving, very carefree, and is very connected to the divine, the divinity within him. So even though he has a lot of life lessons, sharp life lessons to learn, he's learned the most important one already. As a matter of fact, he came here with it, and that's how to love, and that's how to be free, innocent, open, caring. He's got all those qualities with him. So that shows that we all came here enlightened. We all came here with this inner joy, this ability to love from the very moment we came here. He's got the sun on his back, showing that there's a lot here too, or he has help, if you will. Yes, with the warmth on his back, something taking care of him. So there's an aspect of this life that's beyond, that's almost seems to be helping you if you pay attention. Okay, so that's the Fools. A yellow again too. The color, as I mentioned, the colors tend to represent a bit in these cards as well, and some cards will have different colors, so you kind of have to take them and interpret them to what they represent for you and that sort of thing. So when I look at this card, when I see yellow, I think of the sun, I think of warmth, I think of caring, laughing. So those types of qualities, it shows the importance of those kinds of qualities to live a happy life. And he's got, it seems like some type of a fruit on his shirt, He's got leaves. It looks like pictures of leaves on his shirt. So just abundance. And he's got an abundance of innocence and caring and lightheartedness. And it shows that that is a state of mind that we all come here with. So it's not something we need to really develop in our lives. We don't have to try to become this. It's something that's already inherent within all of us. So when you want to learn to be happy, it's not something that you have to learn to be, but instead it's to recognize a quality that's already there, that we already came here on earth with. So we need to rediscover it. We need to take all the layers of our ego away to recognize what's already there in our hearts. And when it says the fool, it's a little bit misleading, because the fool doesn't mean someone, an idiot. It's not someone who's stupid. It's just someone who doesn't have a lot of street smarts, if you will. But again, he has the most important lesson with him. A person that comes to mind when I think of the fool, if you've ever seen the anime Dragon Ball Z, Goku. If you think of Goku, if you're not too sure what that is, go ahead and Google that. Check that anime out, and you'll see what I mean. How, to me, he represents the innocence of the fool. And yeah. So there it is. The fool. There's a lot of wisdom to be found in how a person can live their lives just by looking at these symbols, and you can see what aspects are calling out to you. Each person, when they look at a card like this, will recognize or be drawn to certain aspects, images, colors of those cards for themselves. And that's your intuition speaking to you about those aspects, so that you can, it's basically your higher self guiding you. If there's something in that card that you're drawn to, a certain image or a color, and a feeling that comes along with it, you listen to that. That's your intuition guiding you towards your enlightenment. These are all hints that our higher selves are giving us. I've been very fortunate myself that when I started studying the tarot, I realized that I had that voice already in me, and that I didn't need to look at the images at all, because a lot of the stuff that I was saying was already what was there. I was already able to tap into this without needing the tarot as a guide. But I have a lot of respect for the people who put the time into mapping their inner journey towards finding peace and love, harmony, all of those things, enlightenment, for other people to have a map to follow. And the tarot deck is what I consider to be, and many others around the world, a map towards a truly peaceful, happy state of being, a mind, enlightenment. So I leave you with that. I might do another video next week on the Magician, the next card in line. And so hopefully you enjoyed this. Wherever you are around the world, whatever time it is that you're watching this video, thank you, thank you, thank you. Peace.